Picture this. You're in a meeting. Your boss asks if anyone has ideas. You offer a suggestion, but a colleague cuts in and says, "We've already discussed that. Can you try something new?" With a sharp little smile. Everyone chuckles. You give an awkward smile and try to continue, but no one is listening. You don't know how to respond. You don't want to look angry, so you let it go. You think you've won because you stayed calm, but you've lost. You've lost in a way you don't even see. You're slowly being erased by the system. That moment of public humiliation defines your social position, and if you don't master the art of the sharp comeback, you won't just lose respect, you'll lose everything. The woman you have a crush on in your team suddenly loses interest in you. Your boss never promotes you even though you do great work. Your salary barely moves. This video will teach you how to flip the game instantly, from being the victim to being the one in control. Imagine that colleague says, "We need something that actually works." Instead of freezing, you calmly make eye contact and reply, "Perfect. So I guess you'd want to start by actually listening first, right?" They go silent. The room is yours. Because one sentence from you can shift the entire room. Let's start by understanding the game they're playing. The hidden game. It's all about the frame. Every time someone mocks you in public, they aren't just joking. They are playing a hidden power game. The game of framing. Framing is the art of shaping perceptions and setting contexts. It's the difference between calling someone a fighter versus calling them aggressive. The person is the same, but the frame changes how the entire audience feels about them. Understanding this game is the first step to winning it. When a bully throws a sharp comment your way, their goal is strategic and malicious. They have three clear objectives. They want to lower your social position so they can appear superior without effort. They want to create a lasting image of you in the group's mind so others remember you as weak, a slow thinker, stuck in the past, or full of yourself. They want to build a power hierarchy where they sit on top, like a wolf barking at a weaker one so the rest of the pack knows who's in charge. They're not just looking for a cheap thrill. They're trying to build their fragile kingdom on the ashes of your reputation. Pathetic, isn't it? The key to dismantling their game is to understand their secret weakness. The bully's confession, their mockery, is an admission of fear. The person who mocks you in public is not broadcasting their strength. They are confessing their deepest insecurities. Their attack is a desperate attempt to protect a fragile ego. Here are the real motives behind their mockery. Deep insecurities. You are often a reflection of what they wish they could be but aren't. When they mock you for being confident or knowledgeable, they are trying to silence the version of you that reminds them of their own failures. As the source says, they must tear you down to prevent their own buried insecurities from resurfacing. Fragile egos. These individuals want to own the room's attention. When you get that attention, they feel their power being pushed aside, and their instinct to cut you down automatically kicks in. Your success feels like their failure. Fear of your new version. Oftentimes, people mock you because you're evolving. You're becoming more confident, more competent. A version of you that they can't control. They mock you not because they hate you, but because they fear this new you. So when they mock you, they're not talking about you. They're reading a page from their own diary of failures out loud for everyone to hear. Always remember this punchy takeaway. The person who mocks you often sees something in you that makes them feel insecure. Now that you see their weakness, it's time to learn the one rule that turns their words into the weapon that destroys them. The golden rule. Turn their words into a mirror. There is one single commanding rule for a powerful comeback. Every comeback must reflect the mocker's mindset. To master this, you must first understand what not to do. The most common reactions are the ones that make you weaker. You must burn these forbidden replies from your memory. Never insult. An insult is a confession of being triggered. The moment you fire back with raw emotion, you confess that they got under your skin. You have lost the frame. Never explain yourself. Explaining yourself means you have accepted their frame and are now trying to escape it. You have accepted their frame and validated their right to question you. You have already lost. Never defend yourself. Defending yourself is admitting you deserve to be attacked. It validates their aggression and confirms your lower status position. You have surrendered the game. The winning strategy is surgical and cold. A strong comeback reuses their words rearranged to reflect their own insecurities. It's like holding up a mirror in front of them, so they see the words they just said were actually a public confession of their own issues. Let's see this in action. Here are 4 of the most common attacks you'll face, and the single sentence that shuts them down for good. We will break down 4 common attacks, but the principles you learn will allow you to dismantle dozens more. Each one is designed not to argue, but to flip the frame so completely that the mocker is left speechless and exposed. The competence attack. The mock. So you think you're smarter than everyone in this room, huh? The hidden frame. The bully is trying to frame you as arrogant so the group will turn against you. The comeback. If the words "I'm smarter" are coming from you, you must secretly feel that way, don't you? Why it wins. You didn't deny it. You didn't argue. You simply showed that the words "I'm smarter" came from their mouth, not yours. Suddenly, the whole room realizes they're not attacking you. They're terrified you actually are smarter. The motive attack. Wow, you've been working so hard lately, trying to score points with the boss? The hidden frame. Their goal is to devalue your hard work by framing it as fake brown-nosing, making you look manipulative. The comeback. You seem to understand scoring points really well. Must have worked for you before. Why it wins. You don't defend your work ethic. You use their own words to reflect that they are the expert at playing this game. The group instantly understands they're just afraid of losing the spotlight to someone who actually works for it. The confidence attack. You're so full of yourself. The hidden frame. They want to frame your confidence as a negative trait, making you feel guilty for being bold. The comeback. If you've started to feel like other people are more confident than you, that really says a lot about you, doesn't it? Why it wins. You reframed their insult into a confession. Their comment is no longer about you. It's an accidental admission of their own crippling lack of confidence. They tried to tear you down, but only succeeded in announcing their own weakness to the world. The credibility attack. You talk like you're some expert. Have you ever actually succeeded at anything? The hidden frame. This attack is designed to destroy your credibility and frame you as all talk and no action. The comeback. What's your definition of success? For me, it's when people actually listen. What's yours? Why it wins. This isn't an insult. It's a question that throws their own attack back at them. It forces them to define success, which they likely can't do, while you provide a definition that proves you're already winning in that very moment. You leave them speechless, forced to either invent a self-serving definition of success or admit defeat. Their frame collapses in real time, and they are exposed as someone who attacks credibility because they have none of their own. Mastering these techniques isn't just about winning arguments, it's about making it impossible for them to even start one. You're not just responding, you're reshaping the battlefield so they never dare attack again. The power to win an argument isn't found in yelling the loudest or having the last word. It's found in controlling the frame. The moment you stop defending and start reflecting, you expose your opponent's insecurities for the entire room to see. The best comeback isn't an insult. It's a frame that makes them realize the next time they mock you, they'll become the joke themselves.
This was just a sample from my book, How to Make a Bully Look Stupid in One Sentence. If you want to flip a bully's words and make the whole room laugh at them in 3 seconds without explaining or insulting until it becomes instinct, this book gives you 50+ real-life mock-to-comeback examples, each broken down to show why they work. The replies you must never use. They make you weaker. How to judge when to respond and when silence is stronger. A method to improvise new lines on the spot. Ready to use comeback lines for any situation. A quick test to prove you're ready. Grab a free sample or the full book at the link in the description below.